Hello, I'm Loren Gailey. Thank you for watching this special healing conversation in video. We're on our new set, sprucing things up a bit, and I thank you for joining us. These healing conversations are designed to open hearts, expand consciousness, empower you, and raise the vibration of the planet. We hope that you find these experiences helpful on your journey. You are a master, and you are here with a purpose. We hope that these shows help you discover that passion and purpose and step into it, because when we do, this is how we change the world. We go now to Boulder, Colorado for a healing conversation with Mayana and Andras of Peace Production. They are awakening heartists from around the world, and they talk to us about Kriya Yoga and the power of the breath. Mayana herself healed from fibromyalgia by using breathing techniques. This includes a Heal Yourself meditation at the end of this show. Aloha, we're here with peaceproduction.org, and Mayana and Andras travel the United States and the world spreading their message of really the
love is the only answer to any question. But we call ourselves heartists, and the heartist term is something we can all easily accept, so we can identify with. It's not a name that we call ourselves that anybody can argue with or hold against or separate. It doesn't separate, because we all have a heart. We don't always operate from our heart, but that is the journey, is to help us all operate, live in our hearts, and express ourselves from our hearts only.
So we're going to learn how we can do that. And these days there's a lot of fear going around. It seems like the pressure is on. When we look at the media, certainly there's things that trigger us. So now it's our real responsibility as persons to really lose the head, lose the mind, or integrate it with the heart. So speak more on this.
Well, it's about letting the heart guide the mind. So the heart-mind is what directs our thoughts and our actions and our feelings. And with the fear that's rising up and the viral activity that's rising up, humanity also is rising up. We're shifting, we're changing, we're becoming new kinds of beings. And with new energy bodies, new information, new systems, and new structures for the world on the global stage, individually and globally.
A new level of consciousness, a vibrational level of consciousness that is to the highest. That is what we're aiming for. Not only ourselves, we're here to embody the heartist, the idea of being a heartist. We're here to embody that. We're here to embody the new humanity of this shift in consciousness.
And the fear that's rising up in the world, it's getting darker, it's getting uglier. People are really getting afraid. And by hitting the pause button in your inners, just pause, take a deep breath, and rise up. Fear is, I heard recently the two different ways. It's either face everything and run, or face everything and rise. And we're saying face everything and rise. Anything that's coming up in your world is your own shadow. And you have nothing to be afraid of yourself. It's knowing who you are, knowing your light and your dark, so that you can go beyond the duality of light and dark into the triality of new humanity and the new triordial field of the earth that's emerging, which has been confirmed by Tiburon and Karen Rainwater. Several others in the world have also received this information that we're moving out of duality into triality. It's the threefold flame. So we're rising into that place where in each individual heart we must marry our own masculine and feminine together, come together, embrace each other, love each other enough that we fertilize our own being and a child is born. And that is the Christ child within. So the threefold flame is the image with the pink and the blue and the gold in the middle. And as we're moving into this new era, we're moving into the threefold flame. We will eventually move through that. That's the bridge to take us into the higher consciousness where that golden child is the only one that matters. That inner child, that pure being that just loves and plays and dances and cares and shares for all of humanity. And that's what we're becoming. And it's about being conscious with that. And all the solar activity, today, we've had in the last 2 weeks, the biggest solar activity in thousands of years that they've ever recorded. And those solar flares are changing our DNA. They're changing our minds. It's the help of the heavens. And then we're standing on the earth, and earth is changing, and she's helping us from below. So we have total and complete support to be in our own personal energy field, but we have to know what that is. We have to know for our own self, who am I? How do I stand through these dark times and be that light that shines for others? And that's the core essence of our work, and we do it through breath. And we call our program Health Assurance, the breath of life. We teach self-healing, multi-dimensional self-healing, because if you stay in duality, the duality is getting darker and heavier and crushing, and it becomes an insanity that I really encourage you to dive into insanity. It's a fun place to be. We are in our sanity.
I didn't miss the word fertilizing oneself. You said, actually, it's the first time I heard you say that. But yeah, it sounds like a fertilization, but what it is that is the balance. That is the balance of our masculine and feminine nature that is coming together. And this is the process of Kriya Yoga that helps do that better than anything else. Is this balancing of the mind, body, and the spirit, the father, the mother, and the son.
Except it's a daughter this time.
Yeah, well, it's an androgynous.
It's an androgynous.
It's an androgynousness. That's the balance. Is that we're balancing that out within ourselves, and of course also within each other.
Mm-hmm. And then we get to learn how to come together as humans, or beyond humans, Homo spiritus. We're transforming into Homo spiritus from Homo sapien. And how do we come together as a artist to walk and talk and live and be and do together without diminishing each other? Because the world is based on compromise, and if we come together in a group, something's going to get left out of me, or the next person won't feel like they can rise and shine. And now where we are is that we come together and our fields overlay because we're transparent. So we overlay, we merge together, and we magnify each other. And when you, Loren, and I come together, 2 are greater than 3. 2 become, 2 billion. And when 3 come together, we become 3 trillion. It's not linear. And it's that co-creation field that we've been building as we journeyed across the land, these 40,000 miles this last year and a half. We've been consciously using the new energy form, the blue lotus energy field, which puts the sacral chakra up on top of our heads, puts the gold of the solar plexus in the marrow of our bones, returns us to our Christ foundation, the blue lotus Krishna birthed out of, and the eye of Ra on Isis's head, the halo on Mary's head. Whatever culture you come from this harmonizes with. And when we take that form and our co-creative energy is up here in the we become the antivirus. And right now there's a big scare about viruses and different ecological happenings on the earth that people are really scared about. But when we change our energy field, we're no longer susceptible to viruses. Just a moment here.
Let's talk deeper about that virus and the chakra system and how being here in this realm with the powers that be that keep us suppressed and stepping into this blue lotus chakra system is one that liberates us from that. So what is going on there with that virus?
The virus, from my understanding from the download with and we did an interview with Loren a year and a half ago about this after I downloaded it, there was a virus inserted into humanity that aligned our chakras, put our energy field all in balls and in a line, so we're in a grid. And psychic energy, whether it's remote viewing or subliminal messages on TV, in the air, those energies go through the sacral chakra and project images into the mind that we think are our own thoughts, and we act upon them, and we connect our feelings to those thoughts. And when we move the sacral chakra to here, those psychic energies can't reach that high. They just go right through. And it's like they don't even affect us because we're freed from that grid, and our chakra system blooms into a flower. And we become a living, breathing flower. And the blue lotus petals from our heart rising up through our throat reach out into dimensions, and they reach out and they grab the information we need, and they grab the frequencies from ourself in another dimension that is whole and perfect, and bring it here into this body and this form. And so that's what we're teaching and sharing, how to do that, how to embody this God self. You know, the ancient Egyptians revered the blue lotus and the Isis and Osiris and Horus and all of those Thoth, all those great beings were not totally human. They were star beings that then merged with humanity. Atlantean, Lemurian, you know, I know you are so Lemurian, and we have that mermaid DNA connection where the virus came in from. Because as they manipulated the DNA in the beings on Earth, when the star beings came, they found life on Earth. They needed a slave race to mine gold, so they manipulated our DNA, and they took DNA from a mermaid to insert, because mermaids, when they walk on land, when they've shape-shifted to have legs, they can't speak, and they do what they're told. How many of us do what we're told? I know that's been my path, doing what I'm told.
as we see it and as we know it, it is how we were created. When Mayana mentioned earlier that this blue lotus flower is what Krishna was birthed out of, it is the way we were. This is the original state. This is the original creation of our energy field, of our essence. And that is the oneness that that everyone is talking about. Well, what is the oneness? Because that is where we united, in that harmony of that way where everything, we were protected. Mm-hmm. We were protected from all, we now call viruses, but all energies that were destructive, that were destroying. So this is the shift that we're experiencing now, is a return. It's really a return back to our original divine self, divine being.
And when enough humans embody the blue lotus, And we shoot that out into the atmosphere as humans beaming, like the tree of life, the tree of love. When enough of us hold that, we replace the Atlantean dome of protection. It's that frequency band that used to happen through equipment that now is happening through humanity. We don't need the technology. We can connect with each other in the inners, and we can be that tree of love in the outers.
Really, there is no victimhood. It may seem like we're here as victims, but what I really sense is that it's our own responsibility, our own sovereignty, that we're waking up to living in our heart. And when we join our heart energies together, it is really powerful. And when we study the universe and how planets are higher dimensional beings that have been through the human existence, graduated from that human existence into remembering the connection with Source, all that is, they then get to be planets. And then the next stage is to become a sun. And then the next stage is to become a galaxy and a black hole. So hearing you speak there about projecting our energy upward, this conscious movement of thought is really the work that we need to do, the responsibility that we need to do. It's not just make-believe, it really is real.
Yes.
And so I love Kriya Yoga, what you say about Kriya Yoga, and all the ancient texts point to Kriya Yoga. Paramhansa Yogananda says this is the path. You are doing a Kriya Yoga workshop, health assurance. And explain more of what this is, because we have a special option for people if they want to partake in this course. So share with us more on the Kriya Yoga Health Assurance.
Well, we call it health assurance. In these days of the discussion in this country and all over the world about really taking care of our health, and of course, all the in this country very specifically, the insurance companies who are running the health field, the field of health,
Or illness.
yeah, illness. We're not about going in and drastic measures trying to heal everybody back. We're actually getting our state back. Kriya Yoga gets our state back to that perfect state of being, that state of perfection, and it assures our health when we are in that state, because we are originally meant to be in perfect health and perfect harmony. So our process is back to that.
I used breath to heal from fibromyalgia, which is resistance to who you are. People use breath to heal from cancers and various different things. And when you know who you are and why you're here now, you can assure yourself of moving forward in a good way, in a healthy way, in a whole way. And then we can come together and do this with others. That we can share our assurance of our own health frequency band in a gathering through the internet. So when you listen to our webinars or you participate in any of these things, you're getting an energy transmission that we are sending through the camera, through the internet, through the electrical grid, through the electronic grids around the planet, of who we are being, embodying. We call ourselves the we tribe. The French we, yes to the we, and we are
omniscient, ubiquitous immortals. That's the we part. And the we part, the other we part, willingly embodied.
omniscient, ubiquitous immortals, willingly embodied. And that's the key. Many light workers are having a lot of health problems. The more you're in your body, the more it hurts. Why would I want to be there? The more I do, the harder it gets. Why would I want to do? I'm going to sit in my house and meditate. Well, our call is now to come forth. Finish your cocoon. Finish that important process of being in your own self. And come out and fly in a flock together.
And there's only one heart. And we're all part of that one heart of humanity. The humanity that is
Rising.
Homo spiritus and human beings from the heart. So everything just generates from there. And the healing, when it is this oneness, it multiplies. It exponentially multiplies our energies as we join.
That's what the powers that be don't want us to know. They keep us separate in our individual houses and our electronics and our world that way. So it's really wonderful that you guys are calling on all the masters out there to step up. Every light worker, now we're calling on you to step up. It's time.
And be a light player, and a light dancer, and a light maker, and a light creator.
No work anymore. It's all play.
You know, like Ronald Reagan said some time back about Mr. Khrushchev, take this wall off. We're calling on the world spiritual leaders to eliminate the walls, to bring down the walls that separate the religions, the faiths, everything that separates, to bring that wall down, because that is the wall that is going to allow the energy of all of us together. I mean, talk about free energy. I mean, the energy that we create, the divine beings that we are, when that's joined together, there's no power better than that. There's no power bigger than the consciousness of humanity. And it's all in the heart, to bring that into the heart.
It's all in the heart. Bring it into the heart. So I wanted to ask more about the breath. That was fascinating, that the breath has healed you. And the breath is spirit. Speak more to this.
Well, I like to say, you know, that old song, the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind, and it's coming in, and it's in our breath. Our breath that's what is everything. We can live for some time without food and for some time without water, but not without the breath. But we cannot mistake that the breath is only the elements, the oxygen and what other elements that are in the breath. What is all around us, and through the breath, with the help of breathing exercises of Kriya Yoga, it is about the consciousness that gets at one with, because the consciousness is who we are, and it's what gets at one with our breath and with all of us.
And I know you and I talked, Loren, about at one point about my eyes being opened and seeing what's in the air around us, and how scary that could be for some people to understand that the air is alive. The air has no time or space. When you're in a specific land, like this land we're on right here at Peaceful Meadows in Boulder, Colorado, the energy coming up through the earth is a frequency specific to here. The beings in the air, the consciousness and the life force in the air are specific to this place. But what happens here affects the whole world. You know, it changes the butterfly that flaps its wings in Brazil, causing a typhoon in Thailand, you know, that whole story. We are breathing life. And whatever you resonate with is in the air around you, in your auric field. So if you resonate with certain beings, no, they're there. They might be giving you mouth-to-mouth resuscitation when you need it.
That's the omniscient part of the the Wee tribe, the
Yeah.
omniscient,
We're-
ubiquitous immortals, willingly embodied.
We are inside of a grander, greater being. You know, the God is in everything and everywhere. And it's that God particle that science finally found. They finally proved God. There's a God particle that's in everything. And it just depends on how are you vibrating in this moment. What is your frequency? And we're saying, let's hold hands. Let's come together through the heart and consciously as a tribe raise our frequency. So all of these fear-based mechanisms cannot harm us. And, you know, right now, people, you know, Tom Kenyon just put out his message. We're at a fork in the road. You're either going to go into insanity or into divinity. I say choose divinity, although insanity has its benefits if you go all the way through it. But most people get stuck there. And they stay there in their fear and in their frustration and in their anguish and in their worry. But we have the ability to change our minds. And the new human, the programs and the frequencies that the new human carries is not subject to mind control. It is not subject to viral attack. If you have a virus, get the Blue Lotus. You'll heal. If you have psychic attacks in your world where you feel that these energies are coming in through humans and you don't understand it, humans that have not made the choice to live in the light are used by the darkness. And when they're in our energy field, they send attacks to our being. But we don't have to receive that when we have the Blue Lotus. If we don't have the Blue Lotus, we may not have the power to resist. We can do all the blocks and all of the protections, but if you do that, you're still in duality. You have to become transparent so those frequencies can flow right through, right under your feet, so they don't even affect you.
You've got a wonderful course. What can we expect to experience?
Well, we're blending the knowledge of Kriya Yoga with of course now with the Blue Lotus energy knowledge, and how. I mean, we're all experiencing what is the change, this shift, what's called a shift. We're all experiencing it. It just helps to go through it consciously. And the Kriya Yoga is of course the most essential yoga. It's the ancient. It employs all the ancient knowledge of our divine being. And with the help of that, and the knowledge of this actual energy move that is taking place that Mayana explained, shifting up into this original protective mode of the halo, of whatever you want to call that, is what we're really helping to entrain. You know, because we're doing this amongst ourselves, between the two of us, and we're going through that every day, and we're just staying with that. We've decided to be the one together.
That we're waiting for.
Yeah,
we're not waiting anymore. We're being.
We're being.
No more waiting.
Yes.
No more waiting.
Practicing the art of being.
So people who experience this will have a sense of peace in their heart. And it's the merging of heaven and earth in the heart, and the masculine and feminine. That's the cross. You know, as above, so below, met in the heart with our how we receive and how we give in the world, the feminine and the masculine. And we merge those into our hearts, and we become that fifth element. Maybe you remember that movie, we watched it the other night again. The fifth element, we become that perfect human with all the DNA activations. I'm not saying that we are there yet, we're in the process, but we're all in the process somewhere along the line. And it's just about knowing who you are, where you are, why you are, how you are, and then what do you do with that? And how do you be that? And how do you help others be that? And how, by just physical presence, can we change the world around us with our thoughts, by getting rid of all beliefs. Beliefs hold us down, they hold us back. When we know that we know that we know, nobody can dissuade us, nobody can change our minds. But you have to have an experiential experience of that knowing.
Yeah.
And, right. And so, sometimes it's the chills, and sometimes it's a whoosh, and sometimes it's a but every breath, every emotion has a breath. And that's something else we'll talk about in our class, is how every emotion, every gland is affected by our breath and by different breathing patterns. It's been scientifically proven that Kriya Yoga removes post-traumatic stress disorder, removes all forms of stress, but especially the highest, which in most of the world, everybody has some form of post-traumatic stress. Whether it's from abuse as a child, in a relationship, in a workplace, in a war, or wherever that comes from. We are a traumatized people who need that balm of, I was thinking this morning of the balm of Gilead, where the war, that Middle East part of Palestine, Gilead, that's been battling for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. It's been prophesied there will be a balm in Gilead, and we're saying the breath is the balm. The breath is what will give us peace and heal us.
And what we have to look forward to is, we're offering, of course, I mentioned the name hardest, to include everybody. No one is left out. But we're also playing. We're playing with words, but we're playing more than with just the words, but what those words represent. We're also playing with the idea of creating a tinctum, as opposed to kingdom, even kingdom of heaven. Forget about the kingdom. We're creating a tinctum where Tinkerbell rules. Tinkerbell symbolistically is the feminine energy of love and compassion and caring and sharing. So we're encouraging all of us to be in that state of tinctum, of hardest, and being a tinctum of hardests in Everland. Hardest is when you come from your heart, when you live in your heart and you express everything from the heart. And Everland is no borders, it's wherever you are.
It's not, you can never get there. It's not Neverland. It's Everland. It's where you are all the time. You just have to realize your own God consciousness and live there.
Thank you so much for being here, opening our hearts and raising the vibration of the planet. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, Loren. Namaste. I see you. I am you.
No, I just heard a new namaste. No mistake.
No mistake.
Namaste, no mistake.
Mama stay. Mama stay. Mama stay. Mama stay. Don't run and hide anymore. Mama stay.
Blessings.
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 This form of breath work is known as Sudarshan Kriya and Pranayama, otherwise known as SK and P. Science is now conducting research that proves the self-healing benefits of breathing exercises and the vagus nerve. Here's a short public service announcement from the Sudarshan Kriya and Pranayama Association.
Many of us are familiar with the effects of stress on our body, from headaches to upset stomachs, body aches, and tiredness. But what about the effects of stress on one of our most precious assets, our brain? How about a crash course on what happens to the brain under stress and how we can handle it? Under stress, a physical response is triggered which directly affects the brain in ways that impede our ability to focus and concentrate. This response limits our ability to connect with friends and colleagues and strains our relationships. You might remember from high school biology that brain cells use chemicals called neurotransmitters to communicate. Under stress, a hormone called cortisol is released which hinders the functioning of neurotransmitters, making it harder for brain cells to talk to each other. This makes it difficult to think clearly and is the reason why we get confused in a crisis or a stressful situation. Cortisol also causes a chemical reaction that directly kills brain cells. In addition, cortisol triggers the fight or flight response. This directs blood glucose or energy away from the brain to our muscles so we can fight or flee. This can save our lives if we're running from danger, but in daily life, when stressed, the response creates an energy crisis in the brain, which obstructs our ability to learn new things. Fortunately, these effects can be reversed when stress is reduced. Knowing how stress affects the brain, one would think the solution is to simply force the mind to relax. Unfortunately, the mind has a terrible time telling itself what to do. For example, telling your mind to sleep usually leads to little or no sleep at all. Research at Harvard University found that forcing our minds to do something like relaxing just doesn't work. A solution to effectively managing stress and calming the mind can be found in a more tangible tool, breathing. Because there's a direct link between breathing and emotions. European researchers studied people watching movies that induced emotions of anger, sadness, and happiness. They discovered that each emotion creates a distinct breathing pattern. They also found that just having people breathe in these patterns induced the same emotions. This demonstrates that we can influence our emotions through our breath. So instead of simply being overwhelmed by our emotions, we can transform them through specific breathing techniques. Numerous independent studies have shown that the Sudarshan Kriya breathing techniques, or SKY, are effective stress management tools. Psychiatrists at India's National Institute of Mental Health found that levels of the stress hormone cortisol are significantly lower in SKY practitioners. Published research from Sweden shows that SKY significantly reduces the stress, anxiety, and depression we face under the demands of everyday living, and increases our optimism and well-being. It's as effective as standard antidepressive drug therapy, is free of side effects, and has less drain on the wallet. SKY can also increase our ability to excel. It has been found to enhance brain functioning. Published research shows that SKY significantly increases beta brainwave activity, which is associated with heightened alertness and increased focus. Independent research worldwide indicate that SKY is a potent breathing program that significantly reduces stress and enhances brain function. This can improve our ability to focus, solve problems, and understand complex issues. In addition to the physical benefits like lowering cholesterol and boosting immune function, regular practice of SKY relieves anxiety and enhances well-being and positive emotions. In fact, prolactin, a well-being hormone, is shown to significantly increase from the very first session of SKY practice. And it is well known that emotional well-being is directly related to productivity, concentration, learning ability, and success. The benefits of practicing SKY for any business, organization, or family are obvious, and results grow over time. In a world where everyone is under increasing pressure, regular practice of SKY creates a powerful advantage for our mind, body, and how we interact with everyone around us.
This is free technology available to all of humanity by simple breath work. Please join Mayana and Andras in an online video healing retreat on how you can use breath exercises to increase your health and bring about self-healing. This includes an MP3 download of the self-healing meditation that we're going to experience next. Please register for this online healing retreat with the special offer button on this page. We hope you enjoyed this special 2-hour video presentation with discussion and exercises on this breath work. Now let's experience a self-healing meditation with Mayana. If you're driving, you'll want to come back to this video later. Enjoy the meditation.
This meditation is to guide you through a self-healing process, learning to heal your own body, mind, spirit, and soul, and integrate that healing fully into your cellular and molecular structure. Transformation of the human form into an embodied divine form. So begin by getting settled comfortably, either lying down or sitting with your spine erect. And we'll do some breathing to start with. And the breathing that we will do is all done through the nose. As you inhale, taking a deep, full breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, emptying your lungs completely again through your nose. Breathe in and breathe out, slowly and fully and completely. In and out. In and out. One more time. In and out. And we're going to do what's called square breathing. Square breathing balances your energetic system through your breath. We will breathe into the count of 4. Hold to the count of 4. Exhale to the count of 4. And hold to the count of 4. So I will count while you breathe in your space. And as you breathe, as you inhale, allow the breath to go to any spot in your body where you feel tension or discomfort. And as you hold your breath, hold that spot. And as you exhale, push the energy through that spot. And again, as you hold the energy in that space. So breathe in and hold, breathe out and hold. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Take a deep breath in and breathe normally. Allow your energy to settle back into your spine, coming fully and completely into your body. Draw your aura into your body and be fully and completely with yourself in this space. Imagine yourself sitting in the center of a pink bubble. Unconditional love in the air that you are inhaling. Breathe in that love. Allow it to circulate through you and exhale it back out. Still pink, still bright. Nothing here but unconditional love inside you and outside you. And as you breathe in, again, find that spot of tension in your body where you feel the most uncomfortable. And through the processes we're going through, we're going to take our attention to those places of pain or discomfort. And any time you feel a little afraid or too much pain, know there's an angel standing beside you. Maybe many angels, but definitely at least one. There is nothing to fear. No harm can come to you mentally or physically or emotionally in this space. You are safe. You are protected. You are loved. You are love. And nothing but love is in this space. There is nothing here but love and space to fill with love. So this place where you feel pain or discomfort in your body is nothing more than a space to fill with love. So let's go on a journey together to a space and fill it with love. Breathe in and draw the energy to that space and breathe out through that space, continually through the process. In and out. Breathe through your nose whenever you remember to. So find now that space of discomfort and imagine yourself small, tiny inside of yourself, and take yourself to the source of that pain or discomfort. And just be with that space for a minute and breathe and observe. Whatever you feel is okay to feel. Anytime a space feels dark, just click on a light. Ask for a light. Snap your fingers and have a light. Be a light. Let it shine out from you or from the angel with you. But the light will come. Now I want you to go even smaller and shrink down to the center of that space where you are. Just drawing down tinier and tinier to the center of that space. And with your awareness, breathe slowly and fully through your nose. And just observe what you experience here. Are you on the inside of that space or the outside? Just observe and know. If you're inside, perhaps you need to turn on the light. Perhaps you need to clean it up. Everything you need is at your wish and command. All you need is to think it, and it will be, as you observe and watch. If you feel that you're on the outside of that space, you might imagine putting your hand on the wall, or maybe you'll see a door or a window or an opening you can go through. Or maybe you can just say, "Take me inside," and go inside. And just experience what you experience in this space. Feel what you feel. Know what you know. See what you see. Hear what you hear. And take a deep breath and settle in again. And just allow whatever's happening to continue to happen. No resistance. And when this part of this journey is complete, again come to the center of this space. And get real tiny, and you'll notice there's a floor, but you're going to get so small that you can go through the floor. If it's a wood floor, you go through the wooden cells. If it feels like a stone floor, you're so small you can go right through the molecules. But you sink down deeper and deeper into that space. You get smaller and smaller as you go deeper and deeper and deeper. You're down now to the level of the quantum particles and waves. And you notice there are some solid points, some particles. And as you watch them or touch them, they become waves. And the energy moves and flows. And you flow with it and go wherever it takes you. It may take you into another dimension or to another experience in form, perhaps another lifetime. Wherever it takes you, just allow it and go and feel what you feel. Know what you know. See what you see. Hear what you hear. And experience anything you may experience. The light increases around you as you gain clarity. And you move through this experience gently, smoothly, easily. And whatever you see and whatever you need to know allows the pain or discomfort in that place of your body to dissipate. And as you breathe, that space fills with light and love. And you feel a sense of relaxation, a letting go, a flow. And as you swirl through that space, and then you come, and it swirls you back up and into another place in your body. As that space clears, you come into another space in your body, and you just flow into it easily. And you find yourself in your heart. And you experience loving yourself in a new way. Feeling it as a new feeling, deeper than before, perhaps for the first time ever. You feel love for you. And as you are in your heart, in front of you stands a mirror. And as you look into that mirror, you see your own beauty and grace. You see yourself as you truly are, without the distortions of belief systems and programs and thoughts. You see your true self. Beautiful, complete, whole. And it's hard to imagine sometimes that that is even yourself that you see, but you know it is. And the being in that mirror is not a reflection of you, but you are a reflection of that being in the mirror. Maybe the mirror's dirty and maybe the image got distorted. So I invite you to step into the mirror, into that fullness of who you are, who you truly are, and merge with that self that you see. And as you do, you find that really it is you stepping out of the mirror into your true self. And you feel what it feels like to be this person that you saw, and you know who you are. And you become the purity of the expression of God that you are, that no one else can be. And you look through your body now with these new eyes and this new perspective. And I invite you again to find a space from this perspective that feels uncomfortable or painful. And in this new awareness, enter that space. And this time, as you enter that space, I want you to listen very carefully. Feel or hear a vibration, a sensation, or a tone emitting from this space. When you have a good sense of that tone, breathe into the space fully and completely. Feel it, know it. And it doesn't matter what the tone is. If it feels like a screech or a scream, we'll just tone it down. If it's so quiet you can barely hear it, we'll turn it up, just like a dial on a volume control, till it's at the perfect volume for you to hear it, and the perfect pitch and frequency for you to experience what this tone is. And we're going to raise this tone an octave in our minds. So when you have a good feel for the tone, just as do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, do, do is an octave, you will find your octave, your tone. And you don't even have to be musical or know anything about music to do this. Just tell the tone to lift an octave and it will. There. Breathe with that for a moment. Now we're going to raise that tone another octave. There. And if you find yourself going higher in your body as you raise the tone an octave, just bring that tone, that new tone, back to the spot where you began. Hold it, breathe it. Feel the shift in the frequency and your pain level or in your discomfort. And now I want you to raise it as many octaves as is comfortable for you. And you can raise an octave just by counting. 1, 2, 3, and so on. When I first did this, I found that when I got as high as I could imagine, I was guided to go another octave higher, and I didn't know how to do that because I couldn't imagine it any higher. But I just allowed, I said, okay, allow it to go another octave. And the tone that came in when I could no longer imagine it was the bass of the angelic realm. And then I learned to raise the octaves through the angelic realm. And the pain just dissipates and goes away. There. Feel that difference. Settle there. Experience that and know it. Remember that tone. That you can come back to this feeling anytime you feel a pain. You can return to this vibration. And you never need to drop to a lower vibration than you are holding right now. Breathe it. Be it, experience it fully. See, feel, hear, know. Breathe. And feel that new vibration now in the cells of your body, in your fingers and in your toes. Infuse your entire body with that vibration. Let it go through your bloodstream, through your nervous system, your immune system, endocrine system, muscles and organs and glands in your ears, in your eyes, your hair, your skin, your bones, the marrow, your joints and tendons. Breathe and feel it in every part of your body. Your back where you're laying or sitting. Your seat where you are sitting. The soles of your feet. Fill yourself with this vibration. Breathe deeply. We're going to do a little square breathing again now. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. And breathe normally. Integrate. Feel what you feel. See what you see. Know what you know. Hear what you hear. And experience what you experience. You can sit quietly and breathe, and when you feel complete with this experience, you may want to go deeper and repeat this experience again. As you go into another space in your body each time, this meditation will be new for you. It will never be the same. It will always be different depending on where you go in your body. So know yourself, love yourself, and be your own true self. And so it is.
Thank you for joining us in this video healing conversation on the breathwork and health assurance. If you'd like to join us in the online healing retreat video session with Mayana and Andras, please click the special offer button on this page. There are two options for you to access this course. One is the online healing retreat video session and the MP3 download of the self-healing meditation. And option 2 is a personal one-on-one remote session with Mayana and Andras, along with a second online healing retreat, the Blue Lotus Meditation with Mayana and Andras. Plus, you'll get everything in option 1. It's a great package and a great price, and we hope you use this to bring about self-healing in your life. Thank you again for listening to Healing Conversations. Namaste.